This is Black Witchess, and I'm here with Blonde Gypsy in Sydney, Australia. And we're having a ladies' afternoon. We were just talking about various divination styles, and one of your specialties is the pendulum. And you've got this sexy new pendulum, so I want you to show us.
Absolutely beautiful. I will try and hold it up to the candle. I don't know if you can see this absolutely stunning double terminated Herkimer Diamond. It's just, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely stunning. And what
type of crystal?
A double terminated Herkimer Diamond.
Really?
Yes. I mean, just...
What a mouthful.
I know, it is. Double terminated being the shape,
right,
and Herkimer Diamond being the crystal.
Right.
So what I found with this particular baby is that it is so responsive, and I can't explain that to you unless you've used pendulums before. I think you'd understand if you were a pendulum user when I say how responsive it is. It sings for me in directions that it wants to go.
Right, because I know that you use a lot of pendulums anyway.
I do.
How is this different from the beautiful pendulums you already have?
Do you know what? I think whether it's just love, as in I saw this and I fell in love with it,
right,
and I felt it as you do any crystal, and
right,
it felt like mine from the moment that I touched it. I knew it was mine.
So tell me about that. I know you will, but tell me, because we've been to many little shops together, Blonde Gypsy and I, and we love playing with the crystals when we walk in the store. But tell me, from your perspective, when you hold that crystal in your hand before you buy it, what are you truly feeling? Because if you've never felt that feeling before, you don't know what to expect.
Sometimes it's a warmth, sometimes it's a fizziness, and I can't put that any other way. Like, there's just a fizziness, and I hold any kind of crystal in my hand,
right,
and feel it. And particularly for something like this, which is going to be a tool, if you have the opportunity to do so, I would also hold it up to my third eye. So
right,
I put it just above the inside of the eyebrows,
in between
right?
your eyebrows,
in between your eyebrows, in your third eye, and hold it there. And if you feel anything there, that's even better.
So while you're in the shop,
I
have in
absolutely
your eyebrows. See what you can feel there.
Just feel if there's any reaction. Like if
right,
you're holding it, if you feel any change in vibration, or if you have, obviously it could be as extreme as having a vision, but it can also just be as simple as I feel sometimes you could just feel like a wave. It's quite fleeting. It can be a wave of, you might think of it's fatigue, or you might think it's not a headache, but even maybe a bit like seasickness or something like that. You feel it can be quite quick the way it comes and goes, but it works. You can feel something. Basically, you don't feel the same as you did when you weren't holding it against your third eye. I mean, that's the simplest thing. There is a change in the way you feel. So you feel a reaction. And that was it for me. And it was a bit expensive, to be honest. It was in one of those really expensive crystal shops that has beautiful jewelry.
Now, we are in Sydney, Australia right now, so we do pay like huge amounts of money for these crystals.
Huge amounts of money.
Huge amounts of money.
And this is one of those shops where the quality of the crystals and the jewelry is beautiful. Like it is absolutely beautiful, and I trust them implicitly. There's no funny business. And so I knew I wanted it, so I paid more than I should and brought it home. But I will have it forever. And I don't know if you really can see how beautiful this is.
So this is truly an investment piece.
Oh, for sure. And this is I don't know how the taxman's going to think about it, but it is something you can write off. Like, it is a work tool for me.
That's right. You're the expert. It's part of your business.
It is absolutely part of my toolbox. So then it comes to how you use it.
Okay, so let's get down to it. Tell me about this little doobie that's
in the middle. So this is a very small little clear quartz crystal generator. So we've got 4 little generators, all feeding onto a little pyramid of clear quartz as well.
Right.
And what it does is radiate that energy, right? And I really like this. So when I'm doing a card reading, I actually put this under the table and lay it there, so the cards are working through it. So this really channels any energies and any psychic visions and things like that to where I want them to be. So, but when I do pendulum work, we don't need much in between. Now, I'll show you, there are a couple of ways, because once I start, I probably won't want to explain too much along the way, so I'll just do a bit of the explaining now.
Gotcha.
So there are a number of ways to use a pendulum. I like this because it just gives me extra juice. Some people put a mat down, almost like a Ouija board type thing, and on it has
I've got one with me.
You can have yes and it's not the same as a Ouija board. It's more circular, like a wheel, and it has yes, no. Sometimes it has words like, sometimes it's as simple as that. Other times it might have maybe and rephrase.
Gotcha.
And
so it's a board specifically for the use with the pendulum and this patch.
And of course it doesn't have to be a board. You can do it on whatever you've got. It can be, some people have cloth, called a spirit cloth, I think, and you just put it down wherever you are.
So you could make your own.
You could make your own, absolutely. The idea is that the user connects with their source energy, power, knowledge, spirits, whatever they are, and that the spirits, don't move this. They channel the knowledge to me, and in effect, these micro movements that I would have move it.
Right. So you're just a vessel.
Yes, but I'm also yes, correct. And in some ways they tell me what to do.
Right.
I ask a question, they tell me what to do, and they do it. Like, I don't move it. So they don't say, the answer's yes, and I do this.
Right.
It's just that I sit there as absolutely still as I can, and I'll ask a question, and it appears to just move on its own.
That's so true, because the biggest misconception about doing pendulum work is that people believe that the reader is actually moving it, but it's not. It's the answers you're getting from spirit or source energy.
I cannot. Correct. I cannot hold it still enough. Like, I promise you, there are times when I'm doing it that I'm using. I'm using 2 hands on the thing, and I'm holding it above this, and I could not be trying to hold it still enough if I tried.
Yeah.
And they are, as I said, they're micro movements. They connect, and there are these, I can't see them, but they're these probably tiny movements that make it move, and that is being conducted by powers greater than myself.
So agree.
Right?
Yep.
So then it comes to how you judge it. So one of the things that I think is important to remember about the boards and the things like this, and this works for me, and again, everybody will have a different way of doing it, but what I tend to do is I sit down. So quite often I do this in conjunction with a reading, or separately from a reading, but I need to align it or synchronize it to what's happening. So what I do is I would after drinking teas and burning incense and doing all these things, I would then...
So you get into state.
Absolutely.
You light your candles, your incense, you drink your tea.
I burn the incense, and in all of this, I'm just getting myself as connected as I can to my source. And if I have any information about the person who wants it, then I'll be also thinking about them and trying to introduce my source to them along the way. So, when it comes to pendulums and reading pendulums, there are several ways. You can put the board down, you can put this under the table. A lot of people put it over their hand like this, right? And what I found is I like to use this and this, right? And I don't know why it works, because I'm the channel. Now, one of the reasons I don't use a board, as pretty as they are, and as much as I've saved them on Etsy, like, I love that board, I love that board, I love that board, I'm going to get that printed. One of the reasons I don't do that is because when I do the pendulum, every single time I tune it in to what's happening around me, and by that I mean direction. So I will say, for example, now I would say, am I sitting down? Nice big fat yes, right? And then you ask a no question, like, I don't know, do I have 3 heads? And you get a nice big fat no, right? And if you
Huge no.
really want to, you can ask things like, maybe ask something that would give you a maybe. Like, so just to let you know, we're in the middle of a monsoon, right? So it's raining all the time here. If I said, is it going to be raining at 11:15 tonight? Now, can you see that's going back and forth? I don't know how well this is coming out.
Completely backwards and forwards.
So I would put that as a maybe, right?
Right.
Because it's not saying yes, it's not saying no, it's saying very nicely, you stupid woman, you're in the middle of a monsoon. Of course it could be raining, but at the same time it could rain at 18 past 11, or it could be raining at 12 past 11, and who knows, and what a ridiculous question.
Yes.
So the 4 questions I would ask are yes, no, maybe, and if you can find one that needs to be rephrased, like instead of saying something like, will I be happy ever in my life, you rephrase it to, will I be moving into a happier time soon?
Well, I know that I always come to you when I have a yes or no style question. If anyone doesn't know yet, that Blonde Gypsy is my go-to tarot reader or tarot expert. You haven't been listening to anything that I've been saying. If you're here now, you know that I'm a left-hand path spellcaster. But, you really have to get some answers before you even cast a spell. So whether we're not saying you have to come to us, we're just showing you some various choices, and hopefully you'll get your own pendulum, you'll tune it into you, you'll connect to source energy, and you'll be able to do this yourself. Well, thank you, Blonde Gypsy.
My pleasure.
For sharing me.
I'm so proud of this little baby. I just love it. I love it.
You've told me so much about it when I've been overseas.
I know. I kept sending photographs. It wasn't
in person.
I couldn't. I just, I have many talents, and photography isn't one of them. And I was like, oh, you don't see how beautiful it is yet.
Right,
you don't see how beautiful it is yet.
Yeah.
But it absolutely is stunning. I'm just trying to see what.
Lovely.
Put it on the black. Yeah.
Okay, it's a wrap.
Beautiful.